It's 10:53 in the morning, and I am pulling away from the house. There are so many barriers to adventure, and almost all of them are in my own head. And it's so hard to, I got to get my camera gear together, and then I got to get my fishing gear together, and then I got to get my oh, there's a cop. Hang on. We have pretty loose distracted driving laws in North Carolina, but I'm pretty sure if a cop sees me making a YouTube video while I'm driving, hang on. The main thing that makes adventure difficult is that I'm really committed to coming home at the end of it. I don't want to die out there. And it's about 50 degrees today. I mean, I'm betting the water temperature is going to be about 40 degrees, and it's raining. So I don't think I would die. I probably wouldn't die just from exposure, unless I have to stay out all night. That might be really uncomfortable. And when you can't afford quality gear, you have to compensate with quantity, right? Like, how many changes of clothes do I really need to bring? Probably more than I have. Like, I could fall in, I know I'm gonna get rained on, I'm gonna be standing in the mists of these waterfalls. I'm gonna need to change clothes a lot. I only brought like 1.5 changes of clothes. So I'm counting on being fat and stubborn to keep me warm. This is gonna suck. I stopped to get a sandwich and I had to change clothes because it was so cold outside. Now I'm gonna go stand in the river. Yes, I have waders, but I hate wearing them because the boots hurt my feet. And generally waders are just, it's like getting into a big trash bag filled with your own sweat or the rain, whichever's worse. For a second here, I am the only person at Looking Glass Falls. So this is kind of the bone that we throw to tourists. This waterfall is very spectacular and very easy to reach. And so I've only taken a few photos here because frankly it drives me nuts because you can't get the clear shot. There's people everywhere. But I wanted to come out on a day like today and see what I could do. So yeah, for a second there, I was alone at Looking Glass Falls, and it was absolutely magical. But I do have to say, it's spectacular, right? That is why people come here. Super duper impressive. However, it's big and it's flat, and there's really only like one place to stand. So if you've seen one picture of Looking Glass Falls, you've kind of seen them all. But going waterfalling in this area and not shooting Looking Glass Falls would be like offering a survey course in like attractive blonde movie stars and not including Marilyn Monroe, right? So I kind of felt the need. You've got, every time I'm passing this way with my gear, you kind of have to shoot it. So I acknowledge that I take backwoods safety a little more seriously than most, probably too seriously at times. But I will never understand the desire to go to the woods, go waterfalling in particular, while you are stoned off your ass. Like, not to even mention the driving to the woods part, but like the dudes in the car behind me, man, when they open up their car, geez, I haven't smelled that much marijuana since like Ozfest in 2005. And like, these are curvy, windy mountain roads, man, and you're getting ready to go hike into the woods and climb around on wet rocks. I'm not in shape enough to drag those hippies out of here. This shutter is open on a 4-minute exposure. Got 1 minute and 30 left. So I'm here at the falls, and at one point I got off the trail to eat a little bit and get my gear in order, and these stoners passed me, and then not very far down the trail I caught up with them. And I just want to say, like, I'm not trying to judge. But if you're in the woods, and I'm completely out of shape. I have chronic injuries in my feet and legs, and I'm always stopping to make content. If I catch up to you on the trail, you need to sober up. One time, I went right there. Not a good idea. There's a lot of things that I don't understand about people. And one of them is the people that walk half an hour in to get to this place. And they look at it, and they take a picture with their phone, and then they turn around and walk back. Okay, we're in I wouldn't say, yeah, it's pretty deep woods. We're in deep woods now. We're off the beaten path anyway. The sun is trying to come out. I would like to make it to one more waterfall that's close by before I wrap for the day. So today is a bit of an experiment for me because this is my first pinhole work using Ilford HP5 in large format. And I did some experiments back in the winter with my medium format zero image camera versus putting an impromptu pinhole in my crown graphic. And I liked the results. But then I discovered that if I was gonna shoot pinhole work, I could not use Ilford FP4, which is my #1 large format film, and so you can't get Delta 400, which is my #1 400 speed film. You can't get that in 4x5. So I'm using HP5, which is not my choice for landscape photography, but it's kind of the only choice. In addition to that, I'm using a 3D printed lens board with a shutter on it that I got from Francouz 01. I'll put a link in the description below because I was very impressed with his service. He 3D printed me a custom lens board for my crown graphic and a reality so subtle pinhole. So if you're a nerd, you've appreciated the last 90 seconds of this video. Long story short, I don't really know that any of this stuff is going to work. But that might be okay because I don't really see a shot here. Like, to get a standard, direct, traditional shot, which is kind of what I like to do since pinhole work is non-traditional, I like to make the compositions traditional. I would have to stand right there on all that deadfall. Yeah, I'll do a lot for my photos, but standing right there, not gonna happen. Okay, so this is gonna be a 5-minute exposure. So with FP4, that would have been about a half hour. You know what I wish we could get? I wish we could get sort of the lines in these rocks really, really hard to photograph and get a good shot of the waterfall itself. There's also that stuff right there. I think it's really cool. But it's so hard, especially in black and white, it's so hard to pull that stuff out. All right, that's a wrap. Let's go. Raining pretty good now. Don't know if I'm going fishing later. I have these flies in my hat. I've been walking around with them in my hat like an idiot all day, and I don't think I'm gonna go fishing. It's 4 hours of solid adventuring. I really wanted to fish, but discretion being the better part of valor, I think I will head home. I just slid down that wall right there, landed in that pool, and now I'm soaked up to my ribcage. It's okay, no big deal. Dry bag saved my ass again. I think this shot will be worth it. Most importantly, of course, my tobacco did not get wet. I'm smoking Foundry in the disposable Legend. Extra disposable today. This exposure's got about another minute and 30. I'm wrapping up my shooting for the day, and I'm doing a little fishing after this. I have covered, this will be my third waterfall today. I got a new camera. I'm going large format for my pinhole work, and so I wanted to come out and stretch its legs a little bit. This place is very hard to get to. It's not far, it's just difficult. All of that used to be right up there, and then with the flood last year it all came down, and this little rock beach didn't used to be here. So this has actually made it easy, but there was a trail, or it's made it easy to get to here. Getting up there was the hard part. There used to be, actually there still is a trail. You can't see it, but there's a trail right there. But I couldn't get to it because I can't climb up there. Yep. Yeah, pack's wet too. Yep. So I find this really interesting. There obviously used to be some sort of rail here. Like what? Why? I would just love to know the history of that. Like, who found something worth building a rail to up here? How did that work? I wish that I could capture my inner dialogue in moments like when I fell, like right before I fell. That would have been a good time to be able to hear what was going on, because I have a voice in my head that's a lot smarter than I am. I've noticed this a lot, actually, being out in the woods and climbing over rocks and fishing, that your body or something deeper knows what to do, and the best thing you can do is just shut up and let it take over. But sometimes I hear the voice. I'm like looking at this, steep ass mossy wet slope, and I'm like looking at this and I hear the voice going, I don't think you should do that. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. And it's like, I really don't think it will be. Come on, how many times have we done this before? Yeah, and what happened those times we did this before? I mean, come on, I'm not gonna slip, but even if I did slip, right, there's plenty of handholds. I'll catch myself before I hit the water. Do you know how cold that water is? It's not that cold, it's gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be fine. No, look, I'll put my hand right here, I'll put my hiking stick right here, put my foot right here, everything's gonna be, Good Lord. I'm up to 66 fish for the year. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. I'm sitting here outside my kid's school, and I have a moment to myself to put a cap onto this video. I don't really have a good video from the field to sort of end things off with. So I will say that I haven't developed that last shot yet. Even I don't know what it looks like. It might be terrible, but we'll hold that out as a little piece of mystery for the next time. Thank you so much for watching. More content coming soon as I can get it out there to you. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.